Welcome back. I don't have anything catchy to say, like some of the people I know. Well, we just finished off by, obviously toweling off and fixing the rack in my mother's shower that fell down and broke my knee yesterday. And put on some eye serum. I don't know if it's going to get rid of the wrinkles, but hey, whatever. Nobody else is going to use it. I don't know why they bought it. And that's kind of okay. So this is the Lion and the Lamb reading. So what is the lion and the lamb? And what's the middle of that? It comes down to the image of Christ. The lion and the lamb is the ego, the mind, dealing with itself, where it comes in, and then all of a sudden it's Lil Bo Peep, and then it's nowhere to be found. It's on the cross. It's just there, doing its job. And then now it's away. Oh, now it's over there, and it's got that place on the cross. And this is the nature of the mind, the lion and the lamb. So let's see what comes out of that. Yeah, so put on some eye serum. Just put some argan oil in my hair today. And my Fructis. And put some kind of cucumber. Green, I think it's cucumber, I don't know. Green moisturizer. I was in my early 20s talking to a girl or lady, I don't remember. She said, one thing that I learned that you should pick up is even though you're a guy, you should wear moisturizer every day. I'm like, really? Yeah. I mean, you're going to be brushing your teeth or whatever when you got a shower anyway. Just add that one thing. Why is that? Well, because you're going to get older no matter what. Don't you want to stay looking young? Well, I guess that's good advice. Yeah. Especially if I have to get remarried 10 times. And I might not have any kids till I'm 65. Well, I guess then that's probably a good idea. Thanks. You must have saw the future. We start out here with the Lady, the Lotus Born. Yes. Seagal. Yes, Seagal. Yes, she's your gal. That's your man. Embodiment is the deepest bliss. My body was made for enlightenment. Then why can't I get anybody to try it out? God damn it. Ain't that the touchy subject? Okay, well, if you're serious about a relationship, you should go slow. Oh, but then sometimes it's fun just to have a one night fling. I mean, that's what people tell me. I've never had a one night stand that I liked. Like this situation at all. I think I've had 2, maybe 3 in my whole life. They're bad experiences. But they just popped up out of the blue. If it was anybody that I really wanted or wanted me, well, it wouldn't have worked out like that. So it just happened at a moment of, I don't know, the right situation to somebody sneak one in. But then if you get around to more than one person, well, why? What's that about? And, well, doesn't it make you get feelings so that you want to be with the person you stuck with? But then, like, if you go to a different person, well, then they should be able to too, right? Right. But then, where's the sacredness of it? So then that's interesting, huh? that there could be such thing as a sacred sexual partnership with multiple people and not marrying any of them and maybe bearing children with some and not. And that's in a way a perfect world, and in a way the most complex world that most people couldn't imagine, because they'd have to be at least this far along in their life to have gone through everything I've gone through and then still really just either want to be alone or want to be with all the perfect ones from afar, but nobody's getting any probably, and then just ending up with one. It's complicated, isn't it? I guess that's why they called me in to bridge the gap of Mormonism. Let's put out these cards here. Well, what do we got to say about that? I got a book here. Using the Lord of the Ring deck. He's the least amount. But I very much like how it ties to the story, and it has extra caveats on it that aren't like other cards. We start with the Knight of Wands. Seeing how Faramir prepares himself for ensuing battle against the orcs. Talking about body. Body of the lion and the lamb. And that's also the thing in a relationship, how in a relationship, it's easy for each person to find, I see, I can be myself, but then when I'm with them, then they balance this part of me, okay. But then when you're away, then you're all these different people or whatever, and then the relationship gets linked on that. Who's the submissive and who's the dominant and about what, but then that gets stuck. And there's not the turning over of responsibilities, or, that sometimes you're weak and sometimes they're weak, and you each have to have the full strength apart and together. Here with this Knight of Swords, Wands, my bad. Suggestion: the dynamic male-masculine energy, taking the necessary steps in order to effect a change. Using our bodies for enlightenment. Next, we got this Page of Coins. Glorfindel comes forward to meet the ring bearer on the road to Rivendell. It's a feminine. Page of Coins, huh? Wanting to change one's line of work, to take on more responsibilities, and moving up and on in life through fulfilling existing duties. Able to refer back to one's superior in order to get a decision. Yeah, but who's the superior if it's not your own self in the past, or all the people you've came across as your superiors that are your submissives, but it isn't. They're your points of reference. And those points of reference, just like stars in the sky, if you were flying through a nebula or whatever, then the stars pretty much essentially stay in the same spot, let's say. But then as you move through, well, then where the angle and how they look next to each other at a distance, it absolutely changes depending on where you're at in the constellation. Followed up with the Seven of Wands and the Six of Swords in reverse. At Weathertop, Aragorn musters his companions against the approach of the riders. 7 of Wands, huh? Sounds like preparation, but it's about already being prepared and knowing, but you're waiting for everyone else to get their shit together. It's about being too prepared, over-prepared. This is life. Everybody else is coming and going from work. And it's just being there. So, well, everybody knows in the morning, these guys are in attack. Or we got to go there. They don't show up, I'm going by myself. Cutting down your problems one by one. Don't let issues build up or overwhelm you. Resist attack, even when it comes in subtle forms. Always at the ready. And we're given the 6 of Swords in reverse. Oh yeah, I've seen this one before. This is where Bilbo and his dwarf friends use barrels to escape from the elves rolling down the river. Sounds like a Creedence Clearwater Revival. 6 of Swords in reverse. This book doesn't have any reversals, but obviously we can. It's all moldable. Just like feel like using the book today. So this 6 of Swords, sailing away from negative and limiting conditions, and so I'm saying it's existing within them, because what's negative or positive is all in the mind's eye. Disconnection from troublesome or suppressive people. Well, the only people any of us are really stuck with is ourselves. And troublesome and suppressive people could be ones that are working for us in our best interests. And that doesn't mean they're troublesome or suppressive towards us, but when they're got our back. So then there doesn't need to be a disconnection necessarily. A refusal to have turbulent people around oneself. And that could be knowing that we're the turbulent one or the stable one, and having to keep the waters calm and balance it however it comes together. And in the upright it says retreat, but one step back out of the situation is actually the way ahead. In reverse, I'm seeing here, there is no retreat. What's retreat? It said what it said. It did what it did. You saw what you saw. You think what you think. What's the way forward? Well, this is it. This being the entity of oneself going through day-to-day life and working on improvement. And improvement a lot of times has to do with destruction. You can't improve something until it's broken. And, well, when it's perfectly put together, when it has to do with the human body and a life, a lot of times it's the most broken at that place. And it's the least useful. But it's content, it's happy. It's got all it needs. Either it's nonchalant, doesn't care, or it's bored. What we got here? We got 9 of Cups. See a lot of prosperity on the board today. And growth. Along with the Hermit. But see, it's a hermit hides away. But the Hermit, well, he's holding a staff, so obviously he doesn't stay still. He's not just hiding in a cave. And in fact, he's standing outside of a cave. The crows aren't attacking him. They're hanging out with him because they know they can trust him. And crows have a super long memory. And so they just know birds of a feather, you know. The hourglass is on the ground because what's time? It's irrelevant. And he's holding the lantern. So everyone, even though he's all alone, walking through the forest, anyone can see and find him. He's easy to take out. He's all by himself. At the same time as anyone who's lost their way, there's a light over there. Let's go see if he knows which way out. We're given this judgment sideways. This beautiful judgment card in this deck. You got the silver trumpeter with a sword coming down from heaven with a rainbow. And which is strange because everyone on the ground is like covered in quicksand and dying. And she's standing up praising him. And it's hard to say whether she called him to come save them or she's the one that they were all after her. And he came and him blowing his trumpet made the ground sink and she's being lifted away. Or he's coming to slay her. But it came in sideways. Seeing this balance of judgment of being righteous and doing the best we can. And the next card that fell out is the only other card I think in here that has a rainbow. The Fool. With his little black cat and his knapsack. His nappy. And butterflies. So we got the Nine of Cups, having the abundance, but having to walk out and away from ourselves with the Hermit, which is being comfortable in our own skin and knowing that we lead the way, whoever one is. Trusting judgment to be fair. And that even has a triple X in there. We have IXXXO. And then 2 more O's in Fool. And the Fool leading prosperously forward. With trust, faith, what's confidence? Fool doesn't really know much about those things. But those words can be placed on him. Let's get 4 cards to clarify that. F5 it looks like. So, I'm seeing here is let's see here. We got 11. Purposefully, I've been doing these readings without having a layout or having a very simple layout and letting the universe take control, which is part of building oneself up, not having an easy, like, okay, so this is for the masculine, this is for the feminine, or this is how I'm going to read this. Of course, I can do that. That's how one does a reading, because you set it in the mind, and that's the lion and the lamb in one aspect, and then as you pull it out, then it gives meaning to each card. Here, we're not doing that at this time. Because I like things flowing. I like surprises, but shit, I'm about tired of surprises. Unless I get some decent ones. It's hard to tell what's a decent surprise these days. Where the hell is... Okay. So... From... It reminds us that this is time period to be getting financial and material conditions organized, accounting for what's been spent, budgeting the future costs, putting a bridge between two different realms so that people can move from one realm to another. And that's been something I've been trying to figure out myself. What is to be built? So that I can just simply, but not just simply, show up every day and present or speak to maybe one person in the whole world and throw that Hail Mary, and then boom, it'll get them, and then do 3 people a day and build a network. But how? And where's the finances part coming in? And how do I signify who I'm calling? Rather than just doing general readings, or I guess mine are ungeneral. These are ungeneral or RX general readings. Getting finances in order during this time period. And I mean, anything going on here with me is likely going on with many others. So I'm not very good about talking about, like a lot of others are good at saying, this person or the person you're thinking about, because I can do that, but that's not the kind of readings that I've ever done, because it's always been me looking at it, looking for me, or trusting that it's going to tell me something about what to do or where I'm at. Well, then how can I just place that upon someone else? Unless that was the intention of the reading to begin with, which I have not done ever. 3 times. 3 times I've done a reading on a specific person, and they were all stars. It's been about 4 years, and I see that those readings have aged well in my mind. Be interesting to go see them again, but I better not. So why is it called? So there's a lot of earth energy here suddenly. So we're grounding this Fool, this Hermit, this Judgment, and being stuck in the Nine of Cups of abundance. But it's like you're sitting at the table with your date, and neither of you knows who's going to pay. It's like you just woke up in your seats, and you're like, oh, this is a fancy place. Who's my date? Oh, she's pretty. Oh, this guy's handsome. Okay. Now what are we doing here? There's a bunch of stuff on the table. Should I eat it first, or should they? Who's going to pay for this? Why are we here? Wow, this is amazing. But it's going to get awkward real fast. A new doorway is opening up work-wise, dealing with the material questions of life and with a new spiritual adventure. leading with, we're dividing upon this ground of the hanged man. Because ultimately, that's where each of us runs from, and is where that lion and lamb in our head likes to get stuck at and be in denial. And it's reminding us today, don't be swayed or influenced by the consideration of others. Deal with your own hangups and wait for something to happen. It can also represent a stalemate. That's funny. Only the major arcanas have reversals in this Lord of the Rings book. So that's pretty good advice for this time period we're in. It's May 6th. We get the everyone's feeling a little bit disillusioned with what has happened and are trying to make new plans to accommodate the seeming setback and going through negative emotional states about how do we proceed? How can we get together? What is each of us working on? How are we working on it together apart? How can we match up to do any kind of collaboration? How do we contact somebody? Would our offer be accepted? And would it just, do they have ulterior motives? And we're left with this fifth card here. It looks like a pleasant card of gathering, except it looks like a love triangle. There's one beautiful woman and two gentlemen all standing together holding their wands crossed. And they're both looking at her, and she's like, yeah, I like you guys too. This is fun. And then she might go off and go home, and each of them's going, well, she likes you more. No, she likes you more. Why didn't you make a move? Oh, well, because you get jealous, blah, 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 or whatever. And she's going, oh, I like them both, but man, that's naughty. I can't think about that. Or maybe it's a sister and two brothers. Exercising leadership by example. Others will follow suit. But someone has to be the first to stand up and resist the negativity. I guess that's why we're here. But to resist it, one has to already have a good hold on what the negativity is all about. Overall. Before we go, I'm going to go get a coffee at McDonald's. Or make a tea. God dang it, I'm not ready to quit smoking yet. Fuck. Should probably go buy a pack of cigarettes. I don't have enough things. I don't know what I'm doing with myself. What I'm building. What's going to get me some money. But I don't really care about the money. I believe that when the right thing shows up, I'll have the money. Because I don't need hardly any money to survive. But then everything I need along the way should be provided for. Right? As a foreign diplomat or some shit. It's, I don't know, I've been doing this whole walk the hard way. Nothing guaranteed. Holding everything I got out for everyone to take. So I've already paid my dues. If I need to go to New York, then the flight should be paid for. If I need to stay in a hotel, well, the hotel room should be paid for. If I'm there, I'm probably getting paid something to be there. Then I have the money to pick up the trinket or go to lunch or whatever. But obviously, if I would be going there, I'd probably be eating lunch with the one who invited me. And so on. So I don't believe the money should be that big of an issue. Especially if I'm also doing my own thing every day. And that's kind of, well, that's what we're doing here. We're in the moon's in Leo right now, I think. Several of the planets are. And it comes up with leadership. Finding a way to creatively leader the ship to do what we want, and everyone will follow suit. And if they don't, well, that's fine. They can look at it as a point of reference for themselves, because there's no point in anyone trying to be like someone else. We're given for the that was a sign. I think we got another sign though. We got in Leo, Libra in Leo, cooperation to perfect the leadership, the creativeness of the decisions about doing what we want, and the resulting fairness shown by taking the lead, which in order to take the lead, one has to bow. There's no power in making threats and telling everybody this is how it's going to be. Boom, done. Take that. I'm the boss. Eat it. That's pretty weak leader. It's ruled by fear. All right, now we got a planet and a house. All right. What we got? We got Uranus in the second house, balancing with Leo and Libra. Huh. That's a lot of twos, huh? Uranus. That's a division of you. 2. We got Leo and Libra, scales and lions, and we're the lion and the lamb reading. Stir up the situation by using your leadership, cooperation, and patience to perfect new ideas. Be open. And twice here it says what you want. Do what you want to, and invent a way to get what you need, resulting from the fairness shown by existing, right? As we are. And what is this? All right, we'll say that. Well, I'm gonna go get some coffee, a damn pack of cigarettes, and I'm gonna come back. I'll be done with my coffee. I've had 1 or 2 cigarettes while I'm out. Make a cup of tea. Then I'm gonna come down. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm in the basement. Don't want to get too high, right? Then we're going to go through something together. Something different. And be a commentator. I'm going to get on my other screen. And we're going to go through some facts and stuff for today. And just bullshit. Maybe look through the news. Make some comments about that. And just have a little chat about the world. And have a little routine together. So I'll see you in a bit.